host for After Show Entertainment. The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dancing with the Stars After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dancing with the Stars After Show.
Hey everyone, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another season of Dancing with the Stars. It is season 16, week 1. I'm Kristyn Burtt, and we are so excited to be back with all of you. We had a great season 15, and Suri is also back with us. Hey Suri.
Hi everybody. So exciting to be back. I can't believe we're here. I was just telling you that. We're here.
I know.
It's here.
It's been a long 3 months.
Yeah. Yep.
And also joining us, and I'm really excited, I'm going to say actually to my right, we have got brand new pro. We had you on last year when you were a troop member. It is Sharna Burgess. Hello, Sharna.
Hi guys. Thank you so much for having me.
We're so happy to have you. Thanks for being here.
I know, this is amazing. And then another familiar face right across the table from me, Karl Warden. And you know, you have a new credit. Not only are you a professional dancer and choreographer, you worked on Stars in Danger.
I did. I was a diving coach on Stars in Danger.
For the Baywatch team, right?
Yeah, Team Baywatch.
Very cool.
David Chokichi and Alexandra Paul.
Nice.
They were
Very
amazing.
athletic, too. So you had a good team.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Well, you know, there's so much to talk about tonight, and I'm really excited about the season that we have ahead of us. We've got Sharna here to give us the inside scoop. And you know, the first thing, Sharna, I want to ask you, because you've sort of graduated. You spent 3 seasons in the troupe, and now you're officially a pro. How do you feel?
Amazing. I think it happened so fast. I found out 2 days later I was meeting Andy, and then we're rehearsing, and it's all been going. So I haven't really had time to think about it or get overly excited about it or worry about it, which I think is a great thing. It's just keep it moving, you know? So I'm excited. It's been amazing and absolutely honored to be a part of that cast with all those amazing dancers.
And we're so excited to have you here. Now, what I thought was really interesting, you know, your partner's Andy Dick, and for a lot of us, we knew his history. He's been sort of a tabloid mainstay for maybe a decade or 2, he'll even say, probably. But you didn't know that much about him. You knew a lot about his television work, but you didn't necessarily know about his tabloid history.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. A lot of people said to me, "Oh, Andy Dick, did you hear about this story?" I was like, "What, one more time? He did what now?"
He did what?
And so it was kind of crazy. We had our first meeting, and which was part of what they showed on the show on Monday night. And I was so touched by this guy that was really broken and sad about all these mistakes that he's made and things he wanted to change. And then I hear all these wild stories about this guy. I was like, really? Really? So it's kind of crazy. I just can't see him doing those things anymore. I think he's in a great place, and he's finally moving forward with his life.
That's so awesome. I mean, Suri and I have talked a little bit about this. You know, he looks the best I've seen him yet. He looks really healthy, and he just seems so sweet. I think this story is amazing.
Yes, I was really touched by his package, and I've seen you guys on many talk shows. I mean, you guys are everywhere right now. Everywhere.
Wow, I know.
I don't think you're getting any sleep, are you?
No, not at the moment.
But I just love everything that he's so forthcoming and so honest, and I really appreciate that. And I definitely say out of everybody, he's probably touched my heartstrings the most, which was surprising because when I heard he was on the show, my first initial reaction was what probably most people's were, which was like, okay,
are you sure? Yeah.
Good luck, Sharna.
Right.
Everyone had the same reaction, I think, and now is having again the same reaction that, wow, this guy is not what I expected, and people are really excited to see more of this new Andy Dick.
And we saw a lot in the rehearsal of what went on. You know, he came in and he seemed a little hesitant, maybe not having the confidence that he needed. And then there was this breakdown that we saw. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, there was a serious meltdown moment. It was 7 or 8 days into our rehearsal period, And leading up to it, something was going on. He was fighting against me all the time with what I was doing. He was just a different person to the guy that started. And eventually we have this meltdown moment, and it comes out that he was just crumbling under his own fear, and he didn't know. He was looking for someone to blame, essentially. And he was trying to blame it on me, trying to blame it on that it wasn't a male teacher, trying to blame it on all these different things why he's not remembering his steps. And oddly, funnily enough, through admitting to all those different things and saying it all out loud, he realised it's his own fear that's stopping him, that he's frightened of failing in front of America, that he's frightened of being the fool on national television again, that he wants to do a great job, that it is hard. He's frightened for his sobriety. He wants to fight and do everything right, and he puts so much pressure on himself for that.
Mm-hmm. That is a lot of pressure. I mean,
Absolutely.
you've coached, so you probably have an idea what that's like.
Yeah, dealing with fears and I mean, an addiction, it's a horrible disease, and that's what no one realizes. It's a disease, and it's very hard to live with, and it's something that you have to deal with every day of your life. And for him to overcome that on a day-by-day basis is a huge accomplishment, and I think he's going to be awesome on the show. I think I was just telling Suri earlier, I think the secret to his success is going to be right now his go-to is that self-deprecating thing, that vernacular, but which is great because it keeps you real and it keeps you honest, but also you need some confidence. And I think you're going to give him confidence, and I think America's going to give him confidence, and as soon as he merges the two together, it's a great balance for a perfection sport like dancing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's finding it.
It sounds like he's very aware of the blessing that he's been given being on the show.
Very much so. He doesn't think he deserves it. He can't believe that he's been given this opportunity, that someone has accepted him to take this chance and be on national television where, yes, he was a risk. I mean, everybody, like we said, had the same thought, and I don't think he thought that he was going to be given this opportunity, and so he's grateful for it every day, and again, that puts all the more pressure on him. He doesn't want to mess it up, but he is going to do great. I'm very proud.
The pressure of week one, I've got to imagine, is unbelievable for you, but also for the celebrities that have no idea what they're really getting themselves into. And you guys danced 11th out of 12. The build-up over 2 hours.
I was thinking about that actually, because there was a shot of Ally Raceman, so I was thinking, when you're an athlete and you're so used to, warming up and going, and then to have that wait time. Was that hard for you as well, for you guys?
It was definitely hard for Andy. For the dress rehearsals and band rehearsals that whole day, I wasn't letting him watch anybody. I didn't want him to psych himself out.
Yeah.
Good for you. Smart.
But there's nothing I could do during the show. We're in the skybox, the camera's on. What am I going to do? Cover his eyes? You know? So he was watching everybody, and I did worry that he was going to freak out, but he was so calm. He was like, no, everyone is in their own playing field. It's not about them, it's about us. But come those 5 minutes before we were going to go on, it was, can we run it? Can we run it one more time? Can we do it? I was like, baby, we can't. I was like, there's no music. He said, can we do it with the band? I was like, no, my love.
This is also live TV.
Yeah. Did you think you were going to lose him?
I didn't know what was going to happen. I was standing on that stage. Our package was playing. It was so emotional. They put that god-awful mugshot up of him on that.
Was bad.
He was like, oh, they showed the mugshot, and we're just helping him not watch it because I don't want him to get too distracted by it.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what way this is going to go. We could blank out completely, and I'm going to be trying to spin around him and wave that cane around in that pretty dress, or it's going to be amazing. And he did not forget a move. He was incredible. So we learnt a lot about each other on that first performance. I learnt that he really is that stage performer. No matter what happens, you switch it on.
Yep.
And he really is that.
He did.
He's a showman, which I think is fantastic, and it's going to help any performance. Even if you forget a step, he's going to know just to keep performing and keep moving forward. You can't teach that.
You can't. Absolutely not.
I was pleasantly so surprised by your not yours, but the overall performance with you guys. I didn't expect that. He was a showman. He did remind me a little bit of Woody Allen in a way, and just charisma. And I was really surprised in a great way.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Absolutely.
I actually loved it. And your choreography was awesome.
It was so
really
cute.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was really, really pleased with it. He handled it really well. This is one thing. He got no credit from the judges for using a prop, not dropping it.
True.
His first week, handling it so beautifully.
Sweaty palms.
Sweaty palms, passing it back and forth, holding a frame with the cane in your hand. Yeah, he gets no credit for that.
Which I told her earlier, he dances better in hold than he does alone, which is usually the opposite for every non-dancer on the show. Normally they're like, oh, I'm free to do, I'm not gonna step on my girl or whatever.
Yep.
And they get in hold and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm too heavy, I'm gonna step on her feet, oh my God. It locked in, it was magical to watch. That pass you guys did, that diagonal pass on the floor and hold, it was gorgeous.
Thank you.
You guys just floated. It was so awesome to watch.
That's a great note too, you know, because it's interesting to hear what the judges had to say. The notes, Woody Allen, which you can kind of take that as good and bad. I like Woody Allen, but I'm not sure that Bruno meant it.
I don't mean it in a bad way. I kind of look at it in the movie, like as in a movie.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
Like the quirky kind of fun, but successful at the same time.
Yeah.
Then we got pancake hands and feet, which, you know, I mean, he might need to work on, you know, most of the men need to work on arms.
I call them sausages. They're not really like pancakes. They're like these 5 sausages hanging off a palm. He just waves them around like this. It's like, baby, like at least give me a steak.
Like his nails are drying.
You know, like yeah.
Steak, not a sausage.
Nobody
Give me
touch
a
my
steak,
nails,
not
they're
a
drying.
sausage.
that's a clip. That's a
Steak,
And he's
not a
like
sausage.
trying to make a phone call. He put him under that blue thing.
It was certainly a valid comment from Carrie Ann. I think the ugly duckling comment wasn't so warranted.
I think she meant like blossoming into a
agree.
swan. She didn't describe it well.
Yeah.
I get that.
Speaking of comments, sorry, I have to go there, but I couldn't believe Brooke's comments up in the skybox when you were getting. He was shouting at the TV.
Gagged.
I froze like. I couldn't
just
believe
happened?
it. I actually texted Tony. I was like, are you kidding me?
You did a great job. Your face did not crack. My face would have been like, I would have given her a look.
I just think that was not appropriate.
Yeah, yeah, and it's live TV. She probably spoke her mind and then probably went, oops.
And what I want to quickly follow that up with is I think Andy's handling himself beautifully.
Yes.
So, with such class, and I've got to give him credit
And
for
he
that.
didn't joke that away. He answered it seriously.
Yeah.
And he
I
took
mean,
it very seriously.
he was like, okay, you went there. Like we had the funny moment and then he addressed it. I think it was the wrong time to bring it up. There's been so much discussion about this the last 3 weeks since Andy was announced. You know, we've heard a lot about it. We just danced. Can we talk about that?
Right.
You know, I think it was the wrong question to ask. I don't think she meant it in a bad way. I think it was an off-the-cuff thing because the package was so emotional and she went off that subject. It was just bad timing and the wrong thing to say, bless her. It's just an
Let you enjoy the moment, at least for a second or two.
I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say it was a producer in her ear saying, say this, bait him, say this.
I'm sure she
wouldn't
also has
doubt it.
prepared questions because, you know, when you work in live TV, you work as a host, there are people in your IFB earpiece.
But
and
she's Brooke Burke on Dancing with the Stars. She's not Katie Couric on 2020.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Exactly.
But he handled it great.
He did.
Yes, he did. He was very graceful and has been the whole time. When anybody asks him about his sobriety and his past mistakes and escapades, he's so gracious and honest.
Yeah.
It's part of his recovery, too.
Sorry, yeah.
Owning up
Love
to
it.
So you guys got a 17. I just wanted to a 6, a 5, and a 6. And you know, for the foxtrot, and we saw a lot of other foxtrots, and we'll get into that in a moment. But I think it was a little low compared to others.
I think it was absolutely in comparison to the other foxtrots, and not to take anyone down. I think for a first week, everybody was fantastic, but that includes Andy. I think he deserved more than a 5 from Len, who I didn't realize I booed.
Did you watch a replay or something?
I saw it back and when he said the RoboCop thing, I went boo.
But that's good and genuine and honest in the moment. I love that.
Okay.
Love it.
People should boo him every once in a while, so it might as well be right out of the gate.
All of that don't talk back to the judges, and I just booed the poor man.
Oh my God.
But yeah, definitely a low score. I think he deserved more than that. Like I said, 1 for using a prop, not dropping it. 2 for his frame, his heel leads and his technique that he was doing. Was he a little shaky at some parts? Of course he was. So was everybody.
Yeah.
Lisa Vanderpump was all over the place.
And we are going to talk about that very soon. So, you know, let's start talking about the first 4 dances and go in. And I just want to remind everyone, we're so excited to be back here with you. And if you want to join the conversation, remember, the number is 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729. Yes, give us a call, Karl. Okay.
Such an awkward moment. I didn't know what to do.
The Judds.
Text.
It was amazing. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, we started the evening with Kellie Pickler and Derek Hough. And, you know, I thought it was a great way to start the new season. They were fresh, they were energetic, they're exciting. And gosh, Kellie Pickler has a great natural dancer body type.
She's awesome.
Ability.
Just body.
Wow.
The
body.
Yeah.
Ability. I mean, in the package, you could see the way she's moving her body. That's why Derek's freaking out.
Yeah.
Whoa, I've got something
Look
here.
at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
There they are.
That's before she did a dance lesson with him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a line, honey. That's beautiful right there. So.
And she's a country singer, so she's not someone that usually has probably a lot of choreographed dances, even in her stage performances. So,
Right.
Does she have
They
any
did
dance
show a
background,
picture of
Sharna?
her in a cheerleading uniform in Tennessee, and they take it very seriously down in Tennessee, the cheerleading.
all right,
There
so
you
there's
go.
some good lines right there.
There
Yeah.
we go.
But a good dynamic couple, strong performance, and you know, Derek's choreography, we always
I
take a
love
look
him.
at. It's
Always.
just outstanding.
He's great.
It's nice to have him here this season. We didn't
So
expect to
happy
see him.
he's back. Yeah, he said he has all these you know, projects going on, and he thought about leaving the show, but that he is more creative when he's in the show because the juices are always kind of flowing. So he thought it would all kind of be cohesive.
And they have the same
helpful.
haircut. What a great team.
They do.
I mean, you can't get much closer than that.
They look like siblings. He looks closer to her than Julianne. I don't know.
I think she's gonna pull out some wigs this season for numbers.
She's gonna have some
Right?
long
Oh,
hair. at
she'll
some
have
point.
some
Maybe.
clip-ons.
Maybe. She reminds me of Tinkerbell. I just want
Yes.
to come out in that
Very
little green
does.
dress
Yeah.
and wings.
I know.
Please.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
We should mention they did the cha-cha coming out of the gate, and their score was a 21, which was, I thought, a great way to start the season and start the show.
Definitely.
But low compared to some other 21s that were given later in the show.
I agree, and I think that's what happens when
Absolutely.
you're first. You
Yeah.
run the risk of having that lower score because you're you're setting the bar.
And they don't watch dress rehearsal? The judges are seeing the dances for the first time?
They don't watch dress rehearsal.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, they're sitting in their dressing room. There is a TV. If they want to watch it, they will.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it feels like they do with the comments that they say. It's like, no, that happened in the dress rehearsal, not in this one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But who really knows?
Yeah.
They seem to have a history with it sometimes, I imagine. Next up was Victor Ortiz and Lindsay Arnold, which was kind of exciting to see her because I did the So You Think You Can Dance after show here at AfterBuzz, and we
Right.
predicted that Lindsay and Whitney would wind up on at Dancing with the Stars. Lindsay is a pro, and Whitney is in the troupe this year, so this is exciting to have them there. And she's 19 years old.
I know.
cute.
So cute.
So sweet.
And they did the foxtrot. So this was the first foxtrot of the night that we did see. What did you guys think?
I gotta say, he's quite charming. That was my first note. The main note that I felt through the whole performance was how charming he
it's
is.
So cute.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
You know, I thought, again, and we see a lot this with the men quite a bit, the arms and need a lot of work, and the hands. Again, the sausage and the steak and the pancakes and everything, every bit of food. But they do make a striking couple, so I'm excited to see what they're capable of throughout the season.
Sickled feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm the sickle feet police up in here.
Yeah, right. He's, there was definite sickled feet. He's quite stiff.
Yeah.
Great at footwork, though.
Yeah.
Can learn foot patterns, of course. He's a boxer. Very coordinated. I think he's capable, and we'll see what happens with them too. I don't think their foxtrot was amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he can do better. I think he's going to grow a lot in the competition.
How was Lindsay handling the pressure? Because this is totally a different type of show than So You Think You Could Dance, where she was a competitor there.
I think she's doing great. She's a very, very talented young girl. It's wonderful to have her on the cast. I know there's a lot of talk about Chelsea versus Lindsay, and people are sad to see Chelsea go, but Dancing with the Stars doesn't mean they're not going to bring Chelsea back.
Yeah.
They're just trying out new faces and new things, and I think she's a wonderful face. She reminds me so much of Julianne. In eyes.
Yeah.
And, they've been looking for a Julianne since she left. And I think this girl could be it. She's talented. She does other styles. She's great at contemporary. And she's a great little Latin dancer.
I would love to know, because Lindsay and Whitney, they're both very different dancers from watching So You Think You Can Dance last season, but do you know what would weigh into like choosing one over the other and putting one in troupe, or is it just like the celebrity that they paired them up with?
They're an interesting combination. I worked with them on So You Think You Can Dance on their very first trio number because I worked with Jason, the choreographer, and they're two very, very different girls to work with as well. I think Lindsay is just a little bit more mature in her approach to her rehearsal and how she works, whereas Whitney is just such a young, natural fire talent. That girl takes the floor and you just can't help but watch her. She
commands it.
Yeah. But I think she still has a ways to go in understanding how much time you need to put into rehearsal. One of the frustrating things as a choreographer is when you're watching your dancers and they won't do it full out for you, even if you know they're going to switch it on when it comes to showtime, if they can't give it to you now, it's a really hard thing to work with. And I felt Whitney was a little bit like that. I feel like being in the industry now, she's going to get it. Give her a season on Dancing with the Stars and she'll see, you know, and maybe she'll next season pick it up.
Just needs a little time.
Yeah. Little seasoning, which is always good.
There you go.
Yep.
Right.
They got an 18 for their foxtrot. So again, you know, that's where we start comparing foxtrot side by side. And this was a big complaint of ours last season with the judging. Sometimes you go, are we doing one, you know, setting the bar on what foxtrot should be and then judge people from there, or is it individual couples? And I think that's what it always winds up happening. They judge the individual sometimes.
It sucks. Let me just put it frankly. That's not fair. That's not how it should be.
I totally agree with you because we got frustrated a lot last season. Did you guys notice that there's no halvesies? There's no 7.5 and there's no 8.5 this season. Yep.
Maybe
Do you know what happened there,
maybe
Sharna?
towards the end of the season?
Maybe. I don't know. I never heard that they were taking it out.
Or is that like an all-star thing?
They tried a lot of new things in the All-Star season. I don't really know if the half point was or wasn't good. It just, I think, made it more confusing for people, to be honest. So we'll see. I mean, they didn't use it for the first week. They may bring it back later on. I really don't know about that.
We'll see. Yeah, because I noticed I'm like, there's no 7.5s, and that's why we had so many scores that were exactly the same. So we'll see what happens with that. Third up, and gosh, I hope I get his name right, Ingo Rademacher.
I think that's how you say it.
Soap star.
From General Hospital, yes. Long time. He's played Jax on General Hospital for, forever, with Kim Johnson. Now, this one was kind of interesting because this is the first contemporary dance we see all evening. And I don't like it. I want to see. I'm sorry. I want to see foxtrot. I want to see a classical dance, cha-cha. I want to see something out of the gate. If you want to try something different later on in the season, get a little more creative, that's fine. But I don't know. I mean, he had a nice contemporary dance, but I don't know if he's capable of doing ballroom, and that was my big complaint about the number.
Do you know why they started to go with it week one? You guys, they don't tell you.
I really don't know, and I feel the same. I feel like Dancing with the Stars is predominantly a ballroom show. And yes, later on in the season, if you want to change it up, let's change it up and have some fun. Hopefully it's not surf or flamenco anymore, but contemporary and jazz is fine.
For flamenco.
But that was, whilst very fun to watch,
right.
Just kind of crazy. But for the first week out, I think that's a little tough on not only the celebrities, but the professional dancers. People fell in love with Dancing with the Stars for ballroom dancing. We're not trying to be So You Think You Can Dance. I feel like they need to just bring that in a little later.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
I do too. And I just, you know, the dance was fine. He has some technique issues, but I want to see straight out classical.
I want to see a girl in heels.
Thank you.
Dancing
backwards.
Shoes. Exactly.
And it's so hard to judge because we don't know what he's going to look like next week when he does. How do you compare him to everyone else?
Right.
It's even the same thing with Zendaya, and we'll talk about that. But their score was 767 for a total of 20. I actually agreed with Len on this one. I thought the 6 was probably the best score where they should have settled. But
I agree with that too.
look at that. Suri, are we going to agree all season?
Maybe.
Maybe. We spent all last season disagreeing.
Oh, really? Yes. But agreeing.
No, but agreeing. It was good.
Agreeing to disagree.
Exactly.
On next to Lisa Vanderpump. All right, here we go. Because I've got a lot to say. Gleb Savchenko.
Oh,
Yes.
Love him.
Gorgeous.
He's new.
Tweet me, please.
They had to been scouring for someone who is as hot as Max or hotter.
Yes.
Found him.
Well, let's just say to audiences, there he is. He is not new to Dancing with the Stars audiences globally. He's from Dancing with the Stars Australia, but he's new to the U.S. audiences. And Lisa Vanderpump, of course, from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and her puppy Jiggy, of course, made an appearance in the dance.
I still don't think that dog's alive. I think it's a stuffed animal with a really good face.
It's got a gorgeous face. Oh no, it's alive.
Gorgeous.
And it just sits there, and either it doesn't move or it just lets its tongue keep licking its nose and going in and out of its mouth with those little eyes. I don't want to do the face. I'm gonna look crazy, but I mean, it's so.
That was enough already. That was amazing.
I love it.
Inside scoop on Jiggy.
Yeah, right.
Have you known of Gleb for a while then, since you guys are from the same place?
No, well, I haven't lived in Australia for quite a long time, and he's
Russian.
obviously Russian.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long he's been in Australia for. I found out about Gleb probably less than a year ago.
Okay.
Someone came to me and said, "Do you know who this Gleb guy is?" I was like, "No, what do you mean? Tell me, who is it?" And they said, he does modelling and everything as well. He was doing the Australian Dance with the Stars. And I thought, well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to snatch him up here.
Yes.
very
pretty
soon.
sure
And I'm pretty sure he's not going to be out of work here for a long time.
Right.
Gleb is
exactly.
Russian for gorgeous, I think.
Gorgeous. And he's already threatened to take his shirt off, so I'm sure we'll see him shirtless most of the season.
Their rehearsal footage is hilarious.
I mean, shirtless in rehearsal at 3rd Street Dance. Come on.
I think that's just, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's what that is.
Well, he said she's been married for over 30 years. I think she needs a little bit of this.
Her poor husband just had a hip replacement too. He's very sweet. I do watch the show. Foxtrot. Let's talk about their Foxtrot, because Lisa was very nervous and she kept a smile on her face, but I don't think like the brain and the feet were connected at all times. I mean, there was a lot of stumbling around.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Her dress rehearsal was fantastic. And her dress rehearsal was the first time I had actually seen their routine through. And I went to Gleb and I said, "Congratulations, babe. Amazing routine.
Yeah.
And well done with Lisa." But the nerves got the best of her when it came to the actual show. And she lost her footing. She lost her choreography. At one point, you could see in her face, she was just like, "Oh, I want to give up." But Gleb wouldn't let go. He was holding that frame. I mean, he was going to get her through it. And good on him for doing it. But none of those things got pointed out.
Yep.
Yeah, and they wound up with an 18 versus your 17, and that's again where I go,
Ridiculous.
this is not fair.
Yeah.
And you also went later in the show too, so I feel like someone was propped up a little bit. Did they watch her dress rehearsal?
Maybe. I mean, maybe it comes back to that. Who knows? But and maybe they just genuinely missed what we saw. But she has got talent. Her dress run was fantastic. So I think it's first nerves out of the way, and now you're going to see some great stuff from her.
Okay, so we need to look forward to more from Lisa because she's got the
Definitely.
potential. I know that she's been having some confidence issues. I know a lot of her cast from, what is it, Vanderpump Rules. They've been saying, she's like, "Oh, I'm not going to make it many weeks. I'll stay on a couple weeks, but I'm going to be out." So maybe she needs a little boost of confidence as well.
Sweet woman, by
And
the
she
way.
looked amazing. That dress was amazing.
It was beautiful. That's
Wow.
beautiful. Before we continue on, we do want to remind all of you out there, I know some of you watch us on YouTube, but we are also out there on iTunes. So we would love for you to head on over to iTunes, download the podcast, and rate us. Whatever you think, give us some suggestions of what you want to see here in season 16 of Dancing with the Stars. And of course, tell a friend, because the more the merrier. And as Suri and I know, we are on Twitter all the time talking to all of you. So we sure appreciate your comments. With that, we'll head on into our next batch of dancers. And this was probably the hardest dance to watch all night. And it was D.L. Hughley and Cheryl Burke. I know. Okay, and they were doing the cha-cha, so let's establish what they were supposed to dance. And here's what I have to say. Cheryl is known for really pulling out the best in people. And I saw one thing in the package, a quote that DL said, and it made me think he's got to get over this. And he said, you need to suspend a whole idea of masculinity when it comes to dance. And I thought,
furious.
no,
Oh, wow. He said that.
he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was furious.
Yeah.
And that's going to prevent him from doing anything in the show.
The only thing not masculine about dancing is dancing the way he did. That's not masculine.
What was that?
Mess.
Here's what I said to him earlier. It looked like he hadn't been in rehearsals at all.
Yeah.
Well,
Has he not been in rehearsals as
I
much
can
as he's
attest
supposed to
to
be?
that he has barely had any rehearsal time with Sharna.
And you looked it. I mean, that's what it looked like.
He just stood there.
She did the very best that she could with a very difficult situation. I don't know why. I think he's very busy traveling, different schedules, shows all over the place. I think he's limited on what he can do. But I think he's also struggling with putting the hours and the time in.
Right.
And that's frightening as a choreographer and as a dancer to know that you're teaching someone their first steps and you can only get 2 hours a day. If it is that, you know, I know it's very minimal. So she did an amazing job considering what she had to work with. I know some people are saying she overdanced and tried to do all these things around him. I would do the same damn thing.
You would have to.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice.
I'm not going to go down in flames just because we had 4 hours of rehearsals. I'm going to do my
gonna just
thing.
stand there?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so props to her. I think she did an amazing job.
Yeah, that was my main thought. It was like, this guy's not rehearsed.
Then why sign up for Dancing with the Stars? Because I'm sure that there are tons of other dancers that want to do this show, or celebrities, I should say. And it really does deserve a full-time commitment. I mean, as you know, it's just not easy, and it gets harder as each week progresses, and then you get into 2 dances a week and, you know, a group dance.
Insta dance where you got to prepare 3 and don't know what one you're going to get. I mean,
I wonder if it woke him up, you know, the judges and kind of everything, and now he, you know,
I've
knows
seen
to
his
work
act.
hard.
His whole shtick is he talks constantly without even breathing, like he has gills or something. And if he danced in rehearsal as much as he talks in his gig, he'll be fine.
yeah.
Pull up, buddy.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. I'm like, where I think he's going, but the score was a 12, maybe.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think so. The score was 444. I don't disagree with any of that. It's probably the lowest score I've ever seen on the series.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen anything
I was
lower
hoping
than
for a
12?
negative sign.
It looked like day 1 of rehearsal, day 1 or 2, you know, where you just walk. I mean, that's
He
what
just
it looked like.
threw it away. I mean,
Yeah.
and it makes me sad because I do think that there are a lot of celebrities that really want to get on this show. I hear people all of the time talking about it on Twitter, because when they start asking the celebrities, you'll see people campaigning for it on Twitter. Like, tell ABC I want to be on Dancing with the Stars. So it just makes me feel like sometimes it's a wasted spot.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
would agree.
Yep.
Sorry. Okay, we are going to go into Zendaya. And
Val.
Yes, and Val. And, you know, what a cute couple together, but she is 16, which I loved his comment. You're so pretty. How old are you? 16. I take that back.
That's great.
No, it's funny for those of you that might not have kids or do interviews with Disney Channel stars like I do from time to time. A lot of people are like, who is Zendaya? But she's on the hottest show on Disney
big
Channel.
star.
Shake It Up, yes. So I think that this is exciting. I think she brings a fun energy. You don't know what to expect with her. They were doing contemporary, though. There they are on the dance floor.
It was one of my 2 favorite dances of the night, given that there was contemporary and looking past that. But it was one of my favorites. I think they're fantastic. I feel like she's a little bit like Bambi, her legs, but I think that's because she's 16. But she's amazing. Like, she could go really, really far. I feel like it's a couple to watch.
And she looks like she's got some competitive fire.
Oh, yeah.
I think she does it. I mean, she's truly a dancer. She's a working dancer. So she knows how to learn choreography. She knows how to work. I think contemporary is very different to the cha-cha, very different to the quick step. So I don't really know how she's going to be in frame yet.
Right.
Goes back to what you're saying. Who knows if she can do ballroom dancing yet? But she is a talent, and Val is a tremendous teacher, which we saw from last season with Kellie. So I do agree they're going to do great things this season.
Yeah, I think so.
We loved what he did with Kelly Monaco last season. That was incredible. And again, just pulled out performances. So they're definitely a couple to watch. But again, I get frustrated when I'm like, it's not ballroom.
I also really feel like I've been following people online. By the way, he writes a blog, and it's fantastic. You should read it. He's come into his own. You know, last season set him apart from being the brother. You know, and now he's got his own huge fan base, and I think it's gonna be exciting to watch them.
I think it is too. They got the highest score of the night, 888, for a total of 24. So it's a great way to start out of the gate. She's going to get a lot of votes from her younger fans. So she definitely will be there, you know, probably towards the end of the season.
If they can stay up that late.
Can they stay up that late until 10 p.m.?
Come on, please.
You can DVR it and watch it after school the next day.
Right? Exactly.
But can you vote? That's
Right.
you gotta,
Question.
That's the important things. You'll be like with your cell phone underneath the covers at night.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along into the next couple. It is the Bachelor, Sean Lowe and Petra Murgatroyd, doing the foxtrot.
Air quotes, foxtrot.
This one,
Gag.
this was another painful foxtrot for me to watch because it was stiff and it was awkward. And it looked like he was charging a football across the dance floor when he was dragging Petra. And I thought, you're not running across the football field. Slow down.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the same opinion, I think. Have you seen the size of his arms, though? I mean,
He's a big
huge.
boy. He's a
massive.
Really?
He's a
like buff.
linebacker.
I think there's too much
Right.
muscle to not be stiff. Right.
He spent a lot of time shirtless on The Bachelor
Right.
this past season. He's got a great physique, but he's definitely not a dancer.
No.
Has he been able to do all the rehearsal time?
Yeah,
Because okay.
He's been in there rehearsing with her. They've been definitely putting the hours in. It was secret for a while, obviously because of The Bachelor and all that. But yeah, he's putting time in. I didn't actually see their performance on the live show. I saw their dress run. I think it was relatively the same. I think Pete did a great job with him, a fun, dynamic routine. First week out, very stiff. Hopefully he can change that around come next week.
I didn't hate it.
I hated it.
I didn't hate it because I mean I know what I'm watching. You know, him and I didn't hate it. I definitely could see some potential for him to get better.
Yeah.
Which is what the show is about, isn't it?
I just don't think he's going to stay long.
I don't know,
No.
but he's got a huge fan base.
Massive fan base.
He
He's
does.
The
I know, The
Bachelor. He's
Bachelor,
just
but
finished.
I don't know. I can't see it. I mean, I think
aren't they on next week with us? I think
yes, they are. Well, cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, sorry.
That was the big announcement at the end, but way to go, Suri. 36
By the way,
minutes
my
in.
social security number is.
Good night, everyone.
My Amex card number
Felt I had
is.
something to add. I needed to
I
add
felt
something
like
to
yes.
the show.
You can tell it's week one. We won't tease who's coming up next week, but yeah. So you know, he just wasn't my favorite. I think that they'll last maybe 3-ish weeks, somewhere around 3-4 weeks. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 5 or 6.
I don't know yet.
All right,
I would maybe
5
go
or
with
6.
Sharna.
He's also a card-carrying member of the Sickle Foot Club.
another
Yes.
one. There's a lot of
Yikes.
men with sickled feet this season.
Yikes.
Yeah, the men are the
So's
weaker.
my guy. I'd like to almost break his ankles in rehearsal. He hates me.
But I didn't.
Don't you sickle
He's
that
not on
foot.
my list.
No.
So you did a good job.
He did. He had 2 moments where there were sickled feet, and I was like, this is not happening. This is not happening.
They do.
Sorry.
They do show knee-down close-ups, and I pause those.
They make Carl very upset.
I have a DVR, people.
We'll move into their score just was 19, just so everyone knows, to establish that. So 19 on the Foxtrot, which, gosh, was that one? That was one of the highest scores on the Foxtrot. That's kind of, yeah.
I don't think it was any better than the other 2. Maybe I'm biased because I was one of them. but-
It was
I didn't
disgusting.
like
Hey,
it.
see, why didn't he get the RoboCop comment?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What?
I did not enjoy it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe I've written too many articles about The Bachelor this season, too. I had to for work, so maybe that's my issue. I have no idea. We're going to move into gymnastics Olympic champion, Ally Raisman, or Alexandra, as they're calling her this season, with Mark Ballas doing the cha-cha.
Who wants to go first with this one?
Go ahead, Carl. I vote for you.
Yeah.
I really like her. I think she's very nervous. It's a completely different thing than performing in competing gymnastics. I think elegance and grace aren't her strong suit, which is, if she does end up returning to gymnastics, this show will be good for her, for that, to add her to her arsenal.
Didn't we think that about Shawn Johnson in 2008?
Yeah,
You know, from
and
her
she was,
first
and
Dancing
she
with the
was way more graceful in her comeback. And
The comeback, yeah.
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 Yeah. She's not Shawn Johnson, though. Let's be
No.
honest about that.
no,
Yeah, I think that puts a lot of pressure on Ally too,
Yeah.
knowing that Shawn Johnson just did All-Star season. She was incredible. A great talent. And that's a lot of pressure to follow up on. I don't think Ally is going to make it there. I don't think she is a Shawn Johnson.
Yeah.
But hopefully she can, Mark can find her strengths.
Did you watch any of the footage of Shawn when she was with Mark, her first season?
No, I haven't seen
and
it.
where she was at, because she was much younger, like an Ally. You know, I'm just wondering where they're at with that.
Comparison.
Right.
It's a good thing to maybe go check back on YouTube and see some of the old footage and take a look and compare the two of them.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the dance. I didn't like her performance.
It was
I mean,
too
it wasn't
much shaky,
wasn't worse,
shaky.
but
It needed more content.
Yeah.
it felt awkward to me.
Yeah. And I know in interviews they've been saying that she's having trouble counting to music, so that can be a little bit of a struggle. And in dancing, that's gonna be tough.
No,
So
that's true. No, they in the package he was saying that gymnasts, we go through the music.
Yeah.
We don't count. And he can attest. My first years of being a pro dancer, I never knew the counts. People were like, what do we do on this count? I'm like, I don't know. I just
comes
go.
after this.
I just go.
Once I do that, I do that.
do not follow Suri, anyone.
Right. That's true.
Oh, that's so hard.
Yeah, their score was a 21 for the cha-cha. Again, I thought that was a little high. I would have put them maybe 19, 20.
I think she's going to get better.
She will.
Yes.
And confidence building.
Right.
Oddly, I think she's actually going to be quite good at ballroom. At the everything in hold, I think we're going to see a little bit more of her come out in that, more so than the Latin side of things, loosening up and cha-chas and sambas.
And that's the type of gymnast she is too. She's definitely strong
Her
and
traps
placed.
and her scapula is amazing.
Just muscle. There's so much muscle there. It's insane. I don't think that dress was amazing for her.
Thank you for saying that.
I
did not like the dress at all. I think maybe my least favorite costume of the night. Least flattering in every way. For me, that's how I saw it.
And she's so petite, that you do have to, when someone is short, I'm 5'3", and she's shorter than I am, I think. And
she's tiny.
Yeah.
Very overpowering.
Really important.
7-inch long fringe can dwarf a dwarf.
It just overwhelms you.
And I just would love to remember that she is a young teenager and pushing those puppies up like that. I thought was inappropriate.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
No,
but
you
I
can
felt
totally
like
say
it was
that.
Inappropriate.
You can say puppies.
Puppies? I can say puppies. I can't grab them though when I demonstrate.
I thought the same thing.
It was a lot of
trying
cleavage.
too hard, and it just wasn't.
Like, I'm a woman now, it's just...
I feel like Mark could have done better. I mean, you guys have input in the costumes when you go do those, and the pros are usually the ones that design or plan, right? Mark should have known better.
I know. He knows what's flattering on a girl.
What's up, right? And Mark's amazing.
Mark is amazing. He normally styles his girls great. It might have been a week where he just couldn't get there and do it. I don't know. Or maybe she just really wanted that.
Right.
She was adamant, and sometimes you got to go with what they want.
Right.
So who knows how it happened or why it happened, but...
And that pink. It's the U.S. pink.
The USA Gymnastics
They love their hot pink.
I'm lobbying on Twitter to get the pink taken out of
It was started by Nastia
leotards.
Lukin for winning that Olympic gold back in Beijing. That was 2008, kids.
Now they're all in pink.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, we do have a caller, so it's our first caller of the season. We want to welcome you to Dancing with the Stars here on AfterBuzz. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Who is this?
This is Matt from Florida.
Hi, Matt. All right. Well, we have Karl and Suri and Sharna here in the studio. Do you have any questions?
That's one of my tweeps.
I love it.
Yeah. I wanted to say hi to Karl.
Hi. Thanks for calling.
Any comments on the season so far?
Yeah, I thought it was a really interesting premiere. I wasn't too sure about contemporary at first because, I think more in Ingo's case, I don't really know if he can dance yet.
Exactly.
I totally agree with you.
We agree.
But it was definitely interesting to kind of have them change it up a little bit. But I think it's going to be an interesting season because there's no kind of clear front runner, so it kind of makes it more unexpected.
Yeah.
It's a great point because after All Stars last year, Sean came right out of the gate. Melissa was up there too, and it really became neck and neck with them all season long. And here you've got 4 or 5 people or couples that really could possibly take the lead here. Do you have a favorite so far?
Well, I'm a huge Olympics fan, so obviously I like Ally and I like Dorothy. And I think Kellie Pickler's hilarious. I mean, how can you not like her? And she's with Derek, so I think that's probably one of her biggest assets there.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I also want to say hi to Sharna.
Hi.
I was really happy I got promoted this season because I think you were one of the best ones in the troupe. So.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we want to thank you so much for calling in and giving us your thoughts on the season.
Thank you.
You bet.
Tweet you later.
Yeah, I love that. I love it when people call in and give us some feedback. You know, just again, contemporary, it is raising a few eyebrows with people. So, you know, ABC always needs feedback.
We're not the only ones.
We are not the only ones. And they did mention Dorothy Hamill, which is our next couple to dance, Dorothy Hamill and Tristan McManus, and they danced contemporary. But I have to tell you, I love Dorothy Hamill. Her another person with a really dramatic story, you know, breast cancer survivor, and she's gone through even more than that. They didn't get into. I mean, she's had multiple divorces and she's had bankruptcy and everything else, and she's got a really interesting life story. So it's great that she's here.
I love her.
Look at her line, just in the arms. I was like, I love that photo.
This couple, their routine was the other second number that really I was so drawn to and watched several times. It was just beautiful.
It was perfect for her type of skating that she's done on the ice. A very relatable story, I think, to the audience. And I'm happy to see that Tristan has a partner that I think is going to take him far this season.
Yeah, it's great to see him with an opportunity to do some fun choreography. He hasn't had that yet.
Right.
Very excited for him. He's a great guy, great dancer.
And I just want to say, Dorothy Hamill is 56. She looks incredible. How does she look close up?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I saw her 2 years ago. She looks amazing.
Incredible. Sweetest woman in the world. Just the brightest smile ever. You wouldn't imagine meeting her off the cuff that she's been through all that.
Yeah.
And then to be that strong and that full of life. Incredible.
I think she and Andy are very much in the same boat in that they face a lot of challenges in their lives. And as soon as they get the confidence, they're going to skyrocket.
I agree.
She's going to be great.
I thought she did fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the score was 21. I think that was pretty on point for a contemporary dance. Again, but I think we'll see more from her when it comes to some of the ballroom dances. Wynonna Judd and last season's winner, Tony Dovolani. Okay, they're doing the cha-cha. I'm taking a deep breath inside. Okay, she has a lot of musicality because she is a singer, so she should be able to understand the music, but I don't feel like she did that much.
Yeah.
You go, and then
I was thinking, she's such an over-the-top personality. She has tricolor hair, she's got a giant smile, she wears like this crazy makeup, and she's a big girl too, but she danced small. So she has all this big going on, and then she like does these tiny movements
Under herself
because she's almost like afraid to do it. And I think once she steps out of her comfort zone and she really just goes for it for that minute and 30 seconds or whatever it is, I think she's really gonna break through.
Also, what I love about her is what you can't teach is performing in front of millions of people is stage presence that she has. You can't teach that. That's amazing, and she was incredible to watch because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she needs to look at what Kirstie Alley did, because, you know, Kirstie is bigger in size too, and Kirstie just goes all out there, pulls to the wall, and does it. And it was so enjoyable to watch. She knew she wasn't going to win. She just said, I love to dance, and I'm going to go as far as I can.
She's calling Tony Saint Tony Dovolani.
Oh.
Sweet.
I love her, though. I really want to see her do well.
I do too, and I loved when the cameras went on the Judds in the audience, and Mom crying and telling call, and then she of course was like, "What's she doing down there?" Because she knew she's always has to be the center of attention.
And Ashley Judd was in the audience too. They got an 18. I think that was pretty much right where they should be for this season. We talked about Andy and Sharna, of course, with your 17, which we don't like, but that's me. That's my tantrum on the dance floor. And then the final couple of the night, Jacoby Jones and Karina Smirnoff. And I want to make a big point because I talked a lot about this last season, and some people got on me about it, but I didn't think Karina and Apollo had chemistry last season. These two have chemistry. You can't teach it. It just is, and it happens. And they had, what, 1 week of rehearsal? No, it wasn't the best dance. Because of his knee.
Right.
Yep, he had surgery, and he was in recovery. But I thought for having 1 week, not bad at all.
I agree. I think you weren't really a fan of the number.
Yeah, but like I want to see him with more rehearsal. There's some details that were not there that need to be there.
Definitely got the charisma. The football charisma, and he can move.
Musicality,
I feel like he can move. I think we're going to see some good things from him.
I think we will see good things from him. I think that routine for me lacked dance content.
Yep.
I think we were on a stage. We wasted 2 weeks walking down the stairs. We ran down the floor. We repeated the same movement twice.
But would you have done that if you only had a week?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Karina did the right thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But what I mean is that we're still going to see it from him yet. He had a week, couldn't fix the posture yet. There was a lot going on. Has he got musicality? Absolutely, the man can dance. They have great charisma. He has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
We know he's fast, 109 yards in, what was it, 11 seconds or something?
Yeah.
Jive is going to be great
He's
for
funny.
him.
Yeah.
He's funny.
He is
He's a little
funny.
Yeah,
comedian.
driving quick
He
step.
was talking back to the judges. It's good. It'll make it interesting.
Animated.
Absolutely. Okay, so that brought us to, did I give their score? Their score was 20. So if we look at the final scores, Zendaya is at the top with 24, and all the way down at the bottom, exactly half that is DL Hughley. Whew. And that's a pretty big spread. There's a lot of people with 21s and some 18s in there, but it's far away from the top to the bottom, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So let's get into a little bit of news and gossip here with Dancing with the Stars.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right. Do you have any news, or do you want me to go right into
You
all?
go.
I
Go
got it
for it,
all,
girl.
All right. Well, just a couple things. I know we just went to the first week of the season, but today ABC officially announced the last date of the season. So it is May 21st. That will be the results. So everyone, mark your calendar so you know that 10 weeks from now we will know who the winner is.
Nice.
All right.
Wow.
You know your last day of work, right?
Yeah. I was like, good to know.
Good to know.
Unemployment forms.
Yeah, that is the results show. The performance show is the day before, on
I
May
get to sleep
20th.
May 22nd.
Right? Exactly.
We will be here May 22nd, everyone, though, doing our final AfterBuzz TV show, so you will not be sleeping. Interesting thing, you know, Julianne Hough has been in the news. She and Ryan Seacrest broke up. So Derek got a lot of questions about his sister yesterday, and he said an interesting statement. He said she wants to get back to dancing. So everyone thought she's come back to Dancing with the Stars another season. Don't look for it. But she'll probably look to do another movie, musical type of thing. So
She's well on her way in that movie track.
her
I don't think
trajectory is,
Yeah.
she was great. Best role, I didn't love Safe Haven, but the best role I've seen her in yet.
By the way, I interviewed her for Safe Haven, and she was absolutely stunning and lovely and generous and awesome. So.
And great shoes at that press junket.
I loved our
Yes.
Twitter exchange about the whole situation. I won't talk about it on the air, but if you guys want to look at our Twitter exchange about it.
Go. We'll talk about that. Yeah. We'll tell our Twitter feeds at the end of the show, and then you can go back and look at our history. And we do want to send our condolences out to Carrie Ann Inaba. Her father passed away last Thursday. I know. So, and she did the whole premiere this week. So it's kind of been a very tough week. So if you guys are on Twitter, send her some sympathy and everything else, because nobody wants to have to go through that.
And I
So
loved her dress she was wearing the first night. She looked amazing.
she looked fantastic.
Beautiful.
And nice to see Burke back and in good health, too. So
Definitely.
a lot of good things.
Absolutely.
All right, now is the fun time of the show because we're in week 1 and we have to go into everyone's predictions.
So early.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Oh my gosh.
predictions.
All right, I'm going to start with you, Suri. I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
Really? I knew you were going to
I
do
want to
that.
hear who you think is going to get voted off first. Yes, I'm going to ask you these. And who right now, early in the season, are you looking at? You don't have to give me a hardcore person
Okay,
yet.
great. I'll go with DL. I think he's going to be gone just based on what we've seen, and then totaling. It's the total scores, right, from next Monday. Okay. My front runners are Val and Zendaya, Derek and Kelly. I don't know if I have. I don't know if I can pick others right now.
Okay.
I'm not clear.
Okay, we have a few more weeks to, sort of formulate our ideas.
After next week, I'm sure I'll have stronger opinions on it.
Excellent. Carl.
I'm going with Team Pixie Blonde, Derek and Kellie Pickler.
To go far.
To go far.
Not to go home.
Not to go home. To go far. I always start with the good. And then add the insult. And then DL, he's got to go.
Yeah. I won't put you on the spot so you don't have to. Yes, you have a whole season and you've got people to see it work this week, so that's not fair. But again, I think it's a unanimous decision on who's going home. I think it's going to be DL Hughley, just because, the writing's on the wall right there. And I like Kellie Pickler. I like Dorothy Hamill, though, too. I'm interested to see more of her and what she's capable of. I think she could potentially be a top 3.
I forgot my boat people, Dorothy Hamill and Andy Dick. They're in the same boat,
Yes.
like fighting that uphill battle. They're the ones I'm rooting for. So
Yay!
I'm with Karl on that.
I'm rooting for those two.
I'm with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, and our big announcement, which Suri did about 36 minutes into the show, yes, is that we will have Petra and
Great
Sean
communication.
Lowe, I know, here next week. So we hope that you join us for all of that excitement, and maybe the Bachelor will relax a little bit more.
Maybe he'll take his shirt off.
Maybe he will, but remember, he's
course.
waiting. He's saving himself till marriage.
To take his shirt off?
To consummate the relationship.
Yes.
But that has nothing to do with whether or not he takes his shirt off.
He might take his shirt off, and we can put him in the dance zone. Karl wants to be here.
Karl
next week.
needs to be
Karl's
here.
like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'll be working out extra hard so I can compare.
Also have no shirt on and
Also
dance.
have no shirt
No
on.
shirt.
Out dance him.
Out dance.
Yeah.
Dance competition. Yes!
Oh my goodness.
All right, Sharna, we want to thank you so much for joining us. I know you've had the busiest week ever. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at Sharna Burgess on Twitter and Facebook.
All right, Karl, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm at Karl Warden on Twitter.
And at Suri Serano on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram, Suri Serano, and Facebook.
And of course, I'm Kristyn Burtt, and that's Kristyn with the Y at the end. So we look forward to seeing you all next week with another exciting week here, Dancing with the Stars at AfterBuzz TV.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.